Children quickly but carefully make their way to the water slides at the Apple Valley Aquatic Center.
Very busy park, runs very successfully. It's been open for 20 years. We've never had an incident anywhere near this magnitude.
Captain Nick Francis is talking about the incident at one of the taller slides Monday afternoon when an 8-year-old boy went over the railing on one of the platforms, falling 31 feet to the ground.
Everybody in the water park that saw it happen are just stated by it. And we learned that an 18-year-old adult had picked that child up and thrown him over.
Police say Roman Adams of Maple Grove threw the boy because he was mad that the line was taking too long. They later learned Adams has cognitive disabilities and that a personal care assistant was with him at the park, but not in line with him for the slide.
Our investigation focused on, he knew what he did was wrong, he knew what he did was going to hurt someone, and he did it.
Police say the boy suffered several broken bones, but luckily survived. They say lifeguards were quick to help him until police arrived.
There's not a lot of safety mechanisms that you can put in place for when someone commits a crime. And so I don't think another guard or higher rail or anything might have prevented this from happening.
Okay, so you just had that story right there. And shout out to Coca 2005 for sending it to me. Man, listen. And you were right. They made excuses for this thing already. Saying he had cognitive disabilities. No disrespect, but when I see people like that in an environment such as a water park or something like that, or where there's a lot of people around, I get a little worried if they're not with someone to help guide them along. If they're just out there by themselves, in which they probably shouldn't have been up on this slide by themselves, and I'm not saying that he does or he doesn't, I'm just using this as an example, they should be watched heavily, because you never know what they're going to do. But it's amazing how they threw out them cognitive disabilities for this guy immediately to try to excuse him for what he did. I can't see any possible excuse for you picking up an 8-year-old boy and throwing him over the slide 31 feet down to the ground. That is a pretty steep drop. If y'all could see if you could see how the slide looked in the clip, in the audio that I played, you would see that that's pretty high, but you didn't have to see that because 31 feet, just hearing that lets you know that's pretty high up. That's higher than jumping off of the roof of a regular standard size house. So imagine that being a water slide. And they said it was one of the highest slides probably in the park. The higher ones that you could probably see off of the highway. Luckily, the boy lived because he could have easily landed on his head. And he could have either been paralyzed or he could have died. I was reading some of the article. They said that there will be, that they are reporting that there will be criminal charges pressed, but we'll see how far that actually goes. But they want to sit up there and talk about, some cognitive disabilities. Amazing how they instantly say that he has a disability after he does something so sinister. You threw somebody off of a water slide because you said they were taking too long. It's called waiting in line and having patience. But then again, look at what we're dealing with here. But y'all let me know what you think about this story down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. The links to the PayPal and Patreon will be down below. I will talk to you in the next one.